asking about the COVID vaccine. COVID obviously still spreading, people still getting sick, even if they've been vaccinated. And it has some people asking, why do we bother getting vaccinated if we can still get sick? It's a good question. So I took it to Dr. Charles Berger from Novant Health. He says the vaccine is playing an important role here.
Some people are frustrated when they think they hear that they've gotten COVID and they're fully vaccinated, maybe fully vaccinated and also have received a booster shot. But these people who are getting COVID are really generally having very mild illness, really something that doesn't seem any worse than a common cold. They're sick for a few days with a little bit of cough, runny nose, a little bit of headache, and they're better. There's no question that the vaccines are very effective in preventing deaths and hospitalizations.
As we keep hearing it's milder, right? But is that to say then that people who are unvaccinated still aren't turning up into the hospital or needing an ICU bed with Omicron?
Overwhelmingly, almost all the patients in our hospitals and in our ICUs and on ventilators are unvaccinated. It still can be a very serious illness for unvaccinated people, especially if you have underlying risk factors like diabetes or heart disease or lung disease or other problems.
And here's the evidence. The latest data from the week ending January 1st, 2,200 people were hospitalized for COVID. And of them, about 80%, see it on the pie chart here, were unvaccinated. That's in red. Only 20% were vaccinated. About 500 people were in the ICU. 87% of them were unvaccinated. Only 12% were vaccinated. The number of people being hospitalized is going up, but in the grand scheme of things, since the pandemic began, the number of people on a ventilator is going down, and the percentage of people in the ICU also going down. So is there some hope that maybe this will pass soon?
I think I've asked you this question a few times through our interviews. Are you hopeful here in 2022 that we are going to transition, into maybe more of an endemic where we're just living with this virus? It's around us, but not as severe.
That is certainly our hope. And the fact that with this Omicron variant, the fact that hospitalization rates are not nearly as high as they were and death rates are not as high as they were certainly does point to the fact we may be getting to the endemic state where it's just, circulating around us and et cetera, et cetera. I do think, though, that just like it's recommended that people get a flu shot each year, it's probably going to be recommended you continue to get an updated COVID vaccine each year, perhaps more than each year. So much of it is unknown because of all of the variants and mutations that happen with the COVID virus. And you just don't ever know when there'll be a significant mutation that really is quite different from the ones we've been exposed to previously, and our immune system doesn't really respond well to it, and we start all over again to some extent, like has happened with Omicron.
That makes me think about that because obviously we know variants happen right when there's uncontrolled spread happening, right? Well, obviously we have sort of uncontrolled spread happening right now in the country. How concerned are you that a new variant is going to come of this?
Variants happen all the time, and they're going to continue to happen. The best way to stop it from happening is stop it from replicating. So people who are vaccinated, if they do get COVID, they produce much less virus is replicated in their body, so much less risk of a significant variant from mutating from them, along with the overall reduced risk if we get so many more people vaccinated.
Dr. Berger, you're always a great wealth of information, and we know you're busy, so do appreciate your time.
And if you have a good question, send it to us. We'll try to get you an answer. Use the hashtag OYSTonight on Twitter or scan the QR code there on your screen. That will take you to our mobile page. From there, you tap Contact Us and write in your question.